Oscar. Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Carried on into the penalty area. Here he is. And then Giroud. What a goal. Brilliantly worked. Fantastically finished.
Here's Ramsey. And Alexis Sanchez. Great footwork. 3-0. Liverpool blown away. A 3-goal, 8-minute Arsenal blast. Alexis blocked by Newcastle defender. Still not clear. Wow, what a volley. Where others failed, Ozil has succeeded. Well done, Arteta. Plenty of hit here. Yes! Arsenal have their breakthrough. Mikel Arteta. They deserve it. Oh, they're behind again. It's amazing. It's Aaron Ramsey. That's the response of Arsenal. Iwobi, nicely done. Brilliantly done. Bayern Walcott. Sensational Arsenal goal. Is that a handball? No. Nothing the play can do. Great, what a goal! Arsenal have made it 3-0. Jack Wilshere with an absolute thunderbolt.
Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you're listening, and thank you for tuning in. You are at the Clock End Talk. My name is Tez. I am your host. You can get me at Goonatez on Twitter. You can get the show at the Clock End Talk. And fucking hell, I'm smooth with that, aren't I, boys? Those who are tuning in, yes, we're going to review the Crystal Palace game. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's happening in and around the club. We've basically, you can wipe out the fact that we're in Europa League now. Looks like we will just miss out on that sixth place. Nobody else to blame but ourselves, I guess. It's been one of them whoopsie of a seasons, hasn't it? Up and down and whatnot. This will probably be our second last show. Next week we will discuss we do our season predictions. Those who have tuned in to us every year. And we kind of pop back throughout the summer every now and then if there's some massive breaking news. Before we get on, let's get on then. Who we got? Tony. How are you, buddy? Jesus.
Cool, you fucked that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just when you said, we might be back through the summer or we'll pop back wherever. Of course we'll be back because it's coming home. So we're going to be here all the time speaking about how great England are because they've just smashed France 8-0 in the final and it all came home. That's going to happen.
We will be doing Europa, not Europa, Euros. So we will be covering that each week as well.
Just before I quickly go on, who are you supporting in the Euros? Not who you're backing, but who are you going to cheer when they score?
I always have a soft spot for Italy. I've also enjoyed the Netherlands over the years as well. So I keep a little eye on them, I guess. I don't mind the Croatia team either, and that's only
you can't pick every team, mate. That's like who do you like in Spain? And you go Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Atletico, Villarreal, Getafe. Pick a team. Fucking hell.
I was checking the Croatia team out this morning actually, and they might give it a little bit of a shake too. I don't know where they are in the betting. I haven't even looked at any of that. But yeah, look, I'll be cheering home Italy, the pasta eaters to bring the trophy. You can't say home with them, can you? What do they say?
Just winning the trophy, I guess.
You fellas are the only ones that have come up with your own weird little fucking slogan.
No, it's not that. It's because we invented the game. So when we win anything, if that ever happens, it came home. It came back to where it was started.
Cooper 3's in the chat. How are you, brother? Thanks for tuning in. He's asking as well, enlighten me on UEFA Conference League. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But before we get into that, Jack, how are you, buddy? It's been a long time since I've seen or heard from you, brother.
It's been a very long time, and I want to apologise for that as well. long story short, I am in my final year of uni, and I just finished my last exam, and I'm just finishing up my dissertation. So that's kind of been the main reason why I've been away for quite a while, because I've been working hard, but still been watching the Arsenal. And yeah, probably got a lot to say, and I'm also quite surprised that Addy isn't here yet, because he was definitely getting all excited by the idea of me finally being back on a pod this week. But he's the one who's ghosted now, and had a week's notice as well. So we'll see if he tunes in anytime soon.
Mate, I'm going to just mention your mic is playing up a little bit, buddy, so I'll let you clear that up for a second. And just I presume you've been doing the 3-2-1s for us each week.
Sorry,
I told him
I
to
just
clear up the
disconnected my
mic, and I
headphones.
asked him. Yeah, no, I'm an idiot. I just realised I told you to clear up the mic, and then yet I asked you a fucking question. I'm a dumb cunt. You've been doing the 3-2-1 each week.
Of course, I have. I will send you guys the full list in the next week as well. Well, I don't actually think we can do the last one next week. I think we have to do one more for the results, because we still need to add in what the 3-2-1s will be from the Brighton game.
Oh, okay, right. Well, you let us know what we've got to add in, and I'll think of something.
Well, no, because for next week.
Oh yeah, okay, for next week. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've still been doing them. They're all ready.
Excellent. Tony, you've got a better memory than me, and look, I probably should ask this shit off the show. Where are the predictions that we did for the start of the season? Did I write them down, or you, or?
I was thinking that this morning randomly. My only hope is Schwinn was on there.
Okay.
Because he wrote them down like 2 years ago, so I'm just hoping he done it again. But if not, the show will be easy enough to find, so we can just.
I think I might have them.
Figure it out.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
maybe Jack
Jack
got
might
them.
have it.
Yeah.
If I remember, if Jack hasn't got them, I remember mine anyway. I said Man City were going to win the league, Leicester were going to win the FA Cup, the League Cup would be Man City, the Europa League would be between Man United and Villarreal, and the Champions League would be between Man City and Chelsea. I remember clearly saying that, so obviously.
Yeah, I can't.
I thought you said Spurs win.
I can't remember. I can't. I think Spurs. You said on one of them, because we were both
I just
talking about
lied.
the ring.
I just lied about absolutely everything to make it seem like I got everything correct. I don't remember what I said. I think I said Liverpool win the league, to be fair.
Okay. I'm thinking, fuck yeah, he's on point here. Okay, boys. Crystal Palace, Arsenal. It's one of them games that, yeah, I'm happy we won, but I'm trying to do the maths beforehand, and I'm thinking, well, West Ham fucked it for us. We needed West Brom to win that, obviously. What were you expecting from this game, Tony? Because we all knew the result in the other games prior to it. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh shit, we're poor, because we have been all season. We got no one else to blame but ourselves, as I said earlier. And so what were you actually looking for out of this game?
See, I know now it's mathematically gone, but for me, Europa League was gone a long time ago. So I've just been watching the games in isolation I'm watching that game, what happens on the pitch that day, and I'm not thinking really about if we win this and this happens, because we was obviously just talking before we came on air, and people West Ham fucked us, but we would have required 3 teams above us to all lose on Sunday and us win. We never beat Brighton at home anyway. And then Everton have got City, but City have got the Champions League final, so they're going to rest players. Don't get me wrong, a rested City is still a fucking strong team, but they're going to rest players. And then West Ham have Southampton, who have absolutely nothing to play for, and looked on the beach the other day, and West Ham will have fans back. So for me, the Europa League never really came into it anyway. So I just watched this game as, let's see how Arsenal perform, and don't think about anything else. Like, I'd watched the first half of the Tottenham game before, and they're obviously 2-1 down, and obviously I'd love to finish above Tottenham. If we can get anything out of this season, finishing above them is never a bad thing. If you give me, it's not great, but if you give me 2 options, finishing above them or finishing below them, I'll choose above every time. So that was maybe half in my thinking, I'll win, and it puts us on Tottenham's coattails, and they've got a hard game. But as I said, I was just watching it. Let's see how Arsenal perform today. That was it.
That was about it. Yeah, I was doing the same, and it was pretty much. I still say shit. We're poor, and thinking, fuck yeah, but like it's and Crystal Palace, I understand. They're playing with a lot of emotion. The manager's retiring at the end of the season. Who's at I presume he won't come back. I think I said that last time when he retired a few years ago. But
I don't think he's actually retired.
Isn't he? He's just stepping down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll have another job, but I don't think he's actually come out and said I've retired.
Yeah, okay. Do you expectations?
So Sam
for them?
Allardyce just announced he's leaving officially as well.
Yeah, about half hour ago.
Yeah, right. Okay. Retiring or just leaving?
No, just leaving West Brom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he'll pop up somewhere later in the piece. They're in 13th, Crystal Palace. Is that a season that they're pretty happy with? You think, though, as he succeeded?
Yeah, they're one of them teams. They're never going to go down. They're never going to trouble the top 10. So they get to 40 points and then, or whatever. It's not 40 points anymore. That's always the same. But they get to whatever's needed, usually low to mid 30s, and then they kind of just play for the fun of it. And as I said, the term on the beach actually this season hasn't really happened. No one's really been on the beach this season, and Palace are never are, because otherwise they'd be on the beach by February every year and they wouldn't win a game after. Because they're kind of. I remember when we was talking about. I mean, it was when we was talking about the Super League, and I was saying that, and people were going, "Oh, but it was guaranteed, so like you couldn't go down." And I said about the Premier League, there's teams like that. And Palace just come to mind. I know they have been up and down before, but this current Palace, it's just like, they're not going to go down. They're not going to trouble anyone. They're not going to get into Europe. They're not going to win a cup. And it's just a bit
mid-table. Yeah. It's hard. Jack, what were you? I was going to call you Schwinn then. Jack, what were you? What was your expectations out of this match?
I mean, I was excited to watch Arsenal. I was kind of excited to see what the new kit looked like. I obviously thought we had an outside chance of getting something out of the back of it. Did we? I mean, we did our bit, but obviously the West Ham result went and completely screwed that. Has it put us in theory in pole position based on the fixtures for the Conference League? Yes. Do I want to be in the Conference League? I don't really know. But then saying that, will I still go to games in the Conference League? Also, yes. So it's a bit of a weird emotional kind of roller coaster of a day, kind of seeing how the result panned out after the Spurs game, and then kind of watching the West Ham game and in anticipation that, well, if they drop points, then Europa League's really back on, and that obviously went crashing back down to hell when West Ham got 2 late goals. So I don't really know. I didn't really have much expectation. I kind of just wanted to see us win and kind of build off the good form that we've seen over the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. And to be fair, since Christmas, and end the season strongly to in a position where we can really reconsolidate, bin the shit we need to get rid of this summer, and really push on next season. Because I think, yes, it's not what we may have wanted with the Europa League, but we're finishing the season so far very strongly.
The Cooper Threes in the chat on Periscope, and he said enlighten me on the UEFA Conference League. And since you brought it up, I know what Tony's feelings are, but what do you think of it? Do you said you might go, and what's it do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you excited? And then if you win that trophy, are you going, yeah, we won like it's another trophy? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm so mixed on it. I'm not sure. Like, what do you think?
Honestly, I've thought about it quite a lot over the last few months since they announced it was going to be a thing. Look, I don't really give a shit if we win it or not if we're in it, considering that I'd like to think that we don't need to win the fucking conference to be in to qualify for a minimum of the Europa League next season, because that's all you get for winning it. Do I think it will be very beneficial for our squad in some ways? Yes, in the sense that, like, look, in my opinion, and I'm sure we'll get onto it later, but my biggest issue with the season, and one of the reasons why we may not have done so well, is the lack of time we've had to train between games. We've been playing very, very, very regularly, and you can't necessarily train to improve players. You have to work on the next game when you're in that sort of time frame between games. And look, if I'm looking at it, I would use the competition solely to train up the youth. I mean, it's quite clear we've got another load of great young players coming through at the moment. Players like Miguel Aziz, obviously Balogun, etc. And I think it would be a very good opportunity to give players like that first team minutes. Because if you look at the opposition, the way it is that the top 5 leagues get one team. Then the next like 15 get 2, and then there are more in like the quite bad quality leagues. Like some of the best teams will be playing against like Dundalk level, and that's no disrespect to Dundalk. But the point is that if we can use that to get the youth players going, maybe kind of just play it to, let's say, the players that may have been on the bench the weekend before, and then but mainly have it as an under-23 squad. I think it would really help us develop those young players to then give them that chance to break through into the first team, because that's what the Europa League group stage is great for, especially with the Carabao Cup earlier on in the season, as obviously happens every year. And I think without being in the Europa League, it's going to be very difficult for some of these young players to break through. And we have a few that could really, really press on next season. And yeah.
Well, I was, and funny you say that, because I was sitting there, and after me and Tony, I think it was last week, we spoke about it. And yeah, I don't care for the trophy at all. I don't really, it's not even a history thing. It's nothing. It's like just another league. But I was thinking to myself, I've seen teams like Burnley qualify for the Europa League and haven't been ready for the Europa League that year they were there. Leicester, West Ham are possibly going to be there this year. If I haven't even looked at fixtures next week, Leicester might even snatch 4th, I think. So, but anyway, what I'm getting at is I wonder whether it's to prepare teams for that extra game, but then I wonder whether the prize money, because you're not going to bring in other players for that league, you know what I mean? Like, it's a real catch-22 for a club.
Well, stop looking for a reason for it. The reason is UEFA wants more money.
It's TV money.
Yeah.
There's no we're preparing teams to get into the next competition. It's just they had 3 trophies back in the day, but they were all important because then it was like the Champions League was the champions, and then the UEFA Cup, as it was at the time, was like maybe 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, or 2nd and 3rd, and then the Cup Winners' Cup was the cup winners from every country. So they had 3 competitions, but they were 3 good level competitions. Then when they started introducing top 4 was Champions League, and then the next 3 year Europa League, the Cup Winners' Cup became a joke because it was like, oh, well, they're already in the Europa League because the Cup winners tend to come in the top 7. So then it ended up like being, it would have been the team that come in 10th or something stupid in the Cup Winners' Cup. So they scrapped it, rightfully. And then now they realize, oh, well, there's more money to be made, especially with like the Premier League. You know that whoever comes 7th is going to be a pretty big name, even if it was, say, West Ham, who it's not going to be. They're going to get Europa League. But even if it was West Ham, they're still quite a big name. Like they've got a 60,000 seat stadium. So UEFA have just thought, oh, we'll cash in on this. And I think at the moment, unless they win the Europa League, I think Villarreal are the 7th in Spain. So you're getting like, there will be a couple of half decent level clubs, and UEFA are just trying to nick the money. And if like the leagues were weaker, the Premier League was weaker, and there was still only a big 4, as it was not so long ago, maybe 10 years ago, it was only the big 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Spain was only the big 3. Maybe Valencia had an outside chance. So let's say big 4 there. Then they wouldn't bother with a Conference League, because at that time no one cared about Getafe versus Leicester and whoever came 4th in Holland against 7th in fucking Lithuania. Like, no one cared. But now the clubs are quite big.
It's building. Roberta said it's all about the money, Tez, and I get that. I totally get that it's all about the money in the But what, in terms of money though, like, I just don't see, I can only think of the Australian market, right? Okay, you guys, UK, BT Sports, Sky Sports. I'm more thinking, right, if Optus, they have the Premier League rights, the Champions League, Europa League are up for grabs now, right? This would throw in as a bundled package. So I'm thinking for TV broadcasters, they're bidding for 3, and does that add much more value?
Yes. So this is kind of what my dissertation's on, but so basically, to cut a long story short, they'll get different partnership deals, so they'll get a whole flood of new sponsors in. If you think about it, yes, you may say that it's sold to to Australia as one package. However, if you think about that, those different packages are going to be sold in many different areas of the world, wherever there are fans of the clubs. And if you think about it,
Yeah.
not only is this 55 UEFA association, it's the top. It features 55 UEFA associations, the Conference League. So that's also being televised in those 55 countries. A lot of those countries will have tourism increases, which I presume UEFA will get cuts on based on deals and stuff with their partners as well, because of the influx of people traveling to watch the games. The money's booming in it. Pardon?
But like, okay, let's say you're in the final, Arsenal v I don't know somebody, and the finals in
It's in Albania,
Spain,
by the way.
in Barcelona, or some fucking Albania,
Albania.
wherever
Is it
you
in
want,
Albania?
right?
It's in Albania.
Please tell me.
Would you travel? there?
Tony, it's in Albania.
Is Frapoya in Albania?
Where?
Frapoya. So you know,
I'll
in
Google it.
Taken, it's Marco from Frapoya. Is that Albania?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right, so
I didn't know
that's
what
the
you were
only,
talking about.
the only reason I would go to that final is if it's in Frapoya. Because it's not spelled anything how it sounds as well.
I
I'm
also just
fully
would like
involved
to
in
say,
Frapoya.
on that note, because Tez, you did ask earlier and I forgot to answer. When I say I go to the games, it's because after not going to football for a year and a half, I don't want to just have games once a week. So I will watch them and try and go to them, but I'm also not going to go to I'm only going to go to good ones. I ain't going to go to like fucking God knows where. Like if you look through the country list of this tournament, no disrespect, but it is going to be shit.
I get it if it's in a touristy destination. I get that.
But they're not.
But Albania, like, I ain't got that on my bucket list. No offense to Albanians.
Yeah,
out
but
there,
do you
like,
know what? Probably the most amazing place I've ever been outside of Vegas was Baku. And I never in a million years would have, 'cause if one of my mates said, let's go on holiday to Baku, I'd have said, what? Like, what's the Baku?
yeah, okay. But would
So
you go
sometimes,
back,
like-
Tony?
Huh?
Would you go back?
To Baku, 100%.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So
Like,
that were,
Like I was saying to Jack earlier, that when with these competitions, look, of course it's great to go to your Munichs and your Barcelonas, but I've done them, and I would go again. Don't get me wrong, but it's great sometimes to see new places, and football takes you to places you'd never go that you end up liking, and some places that you might think, oh, I'd love that, and they're a bit shit. I know a lot of people hate Munich, maybe because we get dick there every year for 4 years or whatever it was. But Monaco, I thought Monaco was going to be the best place on earth. Absolute shithole. Would never go back. But I only know that because of football. These draws, look, I'm not saying I would go to every game, but there would definitely be games where I would go to just to visit the country. Like, I'm guessing there's going to be a Hungarian team in there. I've been to Budapest. Romania, I've been to Bucharest. Both amazing places. I'm trying to think where else I've been. Prague. Okay, they're probably going to, obviously we played them this year. So, but you end up seeing places that football takes you there, and they're just great places.
Yeah, interesting.
Just to give you an idea, I've just sent you guys a few screenshots of some of the countries and teams that have already qualified.
Before we get into that and we continue our discussion here, because Cooper 3 did bring it up, Conference League, so we've kind of veered off the Palaska. But I'll introduce Addy, who has joined us. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well.
I didn't think
you hear me? Do you hear me clearly?
It. I hear you loud and clear, buddy. Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Where are you?
I'm on the way home. I had a little baby naming ceremony. I had to just quickly attend.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Did you name it Mikel? Is the baby called Mikel?
I wish it was, but no, unfortunately, baby. She's a cute baby. She has 15 names. I can't recite all of them for you, but yeah, beautiful baby.
So very nice.
Go show some support, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so we've just been discussing, this Conference League. I can't even remember the name of it now, but yeah, this Conference League. What's your thoughts on it, Addy? Like,
I think if we enter it, it'll be a waste of time. I don't think we would prioritize it as, for example, the Europa League. That I think if we did end up playing in it, you're better off playing the 23s in it. There's like, cool, you can say you won a title, but like I think it's worth less than the League Cup for me, because like back in the days you had your Intertoto Cups, you had your Fair Plays Cup. Those actually still had some potentially some weight around it. The UEFA Cup, like Champions League, you actually had weight around those tournaments. But this is it's just another money making scheme from UEFA. That, oh, you know what, cool, we can generate more funds by having another league, so all the other teams can say, oh yeah, we play in Europe, but really and truly, it's not the pinnacle, it's like a Div 1 of Europe. So what I see no sense in Arsenal playing in it, and if we do end up playing in it, then we should play the 23s and let the 23s get some European experience, and that's it. But I don't see any benefits to it. Like for example, in like the football league, they created a new cup where you can actually put your 23s and they can play against Bradford, they can play against like actual league teams, and that actually benefits the 23s, and then it also benefits all the lower league teams playing in it. But yeah, I don't think it's of any benefit to us. We don't need it. It's not gonna help the season. I would even like regard that cup if we did win it with any merit. So yeah, that would be my thoughts, I would say.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I
Can I just cut Tez just quickly? I pretty much agree with everything Addy said. Apart from his last sentence, he wouldn't hold any merit if we won it. If we won it, I'd be telling everyone it's better than the Champions League. Like, oh, you see that World Cup? It's slightly below the Conference League. Like, what you want to win in life is the Conference League and then the World Cup and then the Champions League. But yeah, everything else he's spot on about.
To be fair to Tony there, right? I was having this debate with a mate the other day. People judge the Europa League, right? And don't get me wrong, just for reference sake, when we went in the Europa League the first time, we all said, oh, we're just one season, it'll be a laugh. I fucking mean it. We're in this longer for one season and there'll be some serious problems with the club. Like, I'll be fuming. But the point is that if you look at the Europa League, people take the piss out of it. Spurs were in it for about 20 years in a row, right? Give or take. Or very regularly within those 20 years. And when can you remember them ever getting in a semi-final, let alone a final? Like, if you think about our progress compared to the English clubs back in the day, it's actually embarrassing how people haven't gone further in the competition as a whole, and let alone what the Conference League will be like.
When the first year Arsenal went into Europa League, I thought, oh, this is pretty shit. And it was more trying to get used to, like for me, you guys, Thursday night football, for me, Friday morning. And then
we got bloody Atletico Madrid in the fucking semi-final somehow.
yeah. And then, but like, I think in the last 3 years, I think it has grown, and I don't know whether it's just because Arsenal are in it now. I seem to watch it, and I also have a look at Roma as well in it. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me watching it now, but I'd probably find myself now, even if Arsenal and Roma weren't in it, is flicking onto a game Friday morning, regardless of who's playing.
There's absolutely zero chance I'll watch it next season when we're not in it. I don't even watch the other games when we're in it, but it's definitely, you're right, it's definitely got stronger. I mean, last season, obviously, we went out early, but final Sevilla, Inter Milan, didn't watch it. I watched the Man United. Obviously, it was the end of the season. It was like an end of season tournament last year. And watched the Man United games, hoping for them to lose. But I didn't watch the final. I had no interest in the competition. And I'll be exactly the same next season. I won't watch a single minute of it, I don't think. Maybe the final, depending if I'm in, like, and who's in it, obviously. But you're right, it's definitely got stronger. I mean, just dropping the Champions League teams down has completely changed the competition.
Yeah, it's changed it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But on paper, this year coming won't have that. So if you look at who's currently qualifying for the Europa League, it's Leicester and West Ham, which could actually see their commercial revenue go fucking through the roof down if you think about the teams that have been in it in recent years in comparison. I mean, they've had the likes of Arsenal, United, Spurs, Chelsea. They've had some of the biggest teams in England, and I mean, arguably world football in terms of their fan base. And this season coming, they're probably going to have their weakest tournament in terms of who's in the group stages for probably quite some time.
You know what throws me with it though, and Tony brought it up earlier, that he went to Baku to watch the final, and it was with Arsenal. I presume, Tony, it was a sold-out event, and I can't remember.
No.
No, it wasn't, was it?
No, it was about 10 people there.
Yeah. So why don't they join them like together and have in the same country. I don't know why they. You know what I mean? Like
because they
Champions
get these
League and-
countries to. It's like an inclusive thing. So they like because Arsenal and Chelsea, both the clubs and not just the fans, they asked UEFA to move the final to London when we went to Baku, and the UEFA's response was football exists outside of England. So they're trying to showcase football in these other countries, then to try and bring them up. So like the people of Azerbaijan get to see the Arsenals and Chelseas, and then they're more interested in football, and it brings it up, which is only for UEFA's interest. But that's obviously what they're trying to do. It's like it's never really in a mainstream country. I mean, I can't remember the last time it was in a. Even the Champions League is not usually in a like a new camp or a. Wembley had it twice, to be fair, but it's not usually in a new camp or a Bernabeu or a whatever else.
No, but you know why they had it in Wembley twice, yeah?
One time it fucked up.
Yeah, no, one time but then they did it the second time because of the money it generated for UEFA.
Yeah,
that was literally why they did it back to back in at Wembley.
No, they didn't.
And I don't think did they not do it? I thought
It was because it was the anniversary of the FA.
What?
I'm not sure if they're back to back. It was Bayern and Dortmund and Man United and Barca. But I thought it was a couple of years apart. But I wouldn't want to be quoted on that.
It was. I think it was to do with anniversary, of the FA or of Wembley or something. There was reason behind it. It wasn't because of the money involved, because they get the same money kind of depending on no matter which country they host it. It doesn't change UEFA's income.
Have you boys do you know where you're watching it next season?
Watching what?
The UEFA Conference League. Like, have
Emirates?
no? Have you got a channel on TV? Like we've got.
It'll go in with the Champions League package. It'll go in with the European package.
Yeah, so whoever's got that. Okay. MAA Gunner says, yes, Roma's in it with Mourinho's Roma. Yeah, we'll win it, mate, for sure. Oh, shit. Arsenal v Roma, that could be a worry. I honestly don't care who wins it. I don't care. Like, even if we do win it, I'm still like, I don't care. But he did ask, how will it even get enough teams in that league? I'm not even sure. Like, I haven't really
Jack
much at it. So.
Jack explained it well earlier. So the stronger leagues only get one team. So in England, it's only 7th, and it's actually not meant to be 7th. It's meant to be the League Cup winner, but because that was Man City, then it drops down.
So in the Serie A, it'll be 7th.
Probably only one. I don't know who won the cup. So
yeah.
And then in Spain, same thing. But then the lower countries in the UEFA coefficient get more places. So there'll be like maybe the Swedish league gets 2, and then you know what I mean, and then some leagues will get 3. But then the leagues that get 3 maybe only have no Champions League places and 1 Europa League place, and then they'll get 3 places in this shit.
And to answer what you said, Tez, Juventus won the cup tonight. So
I didn't know if it would be that cup though. That's why I wasn't. I know they beat Atalanta tonight.
I didn't comment because I didn't know what cup it was going to be either. I don't know what they work out. So yeah, interesting.
If it's Juventus, then it drops down to I don't know. So does Italy have 4 Champions League places now? And then I don't know how many Europa League places it has. So it'll be 6th or 7th in Italy.
Yeah. Roma might not get 7th, MAA Gunner. If we lose next week and Sassuolo they win, they probably leapfrog us 59, 66 wonder. They'll be 62, leaving Roma on 61 in 8th place. So I hope that happens, to be honest. I know it sounds stupid, but we don't deserve to be. It's like Arsenal. We don't deserve to be playing for a cup. We are fucking shit. The team is shit. So to go out and take this thing serious.
Yeah, but the competition's shit.
The whole thing's shit, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't say shit teams don't deserve to be in a shit competition. That's exactly where they deserve to be.
That's where they deserve to be. Yeah, true. Okay, back to this game. Crystal Palace. We got the win, 3-1. You boys, we'll talk about the goals. Jack, take us through the first goal, buddy.
The first goal was a lovely ball put into Pepe, who very neatly was able to place that into the bottom corner, and it was a great ball. It was a great cross. I think it was by Callum Chambers, if I remember correctly.
No,
And yeah, it was
KT.
Was it Tierney?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I had a bet on. I wasn't, to be fair, but yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
and
that's all right.
Obviously, after that, Palace scored. Whether or not it should have been a goal was justified. People were either claiming that it was either bad defending by Gabriel, but I, if I'm being honest, thought it actually was a foul on Elneny. I think VAR was a bit lightweight on that front. He pushed him to the floor at the end of the day and he dropped his man.
I'm just gonna start just before you go on to their goal, because Benteke, he got the goal. There was talk in a couple of chats that I was in, and I didn't chat with you blokes because of I watched it 30 minutes later than you lads. So, but I had a look just quickly before I jumped on recording, and people were saying that Benteke should have been sent off before, and I'll get your thoughts. And whether it was 2 yellows, he definitely clipped Elneny, but I thought the shoulder where the shoulder wasn't. I didn't think there was much in it. I don't think there was a yellow in that.
Not a yellow, but I think I just think the goal should have been disallowed. But the situation talking about before, the best way to sum it up was actually done by Sky Sports' score centre, and they said that it hasn't been given. However, if it was in a nightclub, he would be kicked out of the nightclub. I mean, he literally punched him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a fucking clue how that wasn't a red card.
No, that should have been. Yeah.
And obviously, it was infuriating.
Do you know what? I was 50-50 on it. So I mean, to start off, Schlupp should have been sent off after about 30 seconds. It's such an obvious red. You don't even fucking need to talk about it.
On Chambers.
I think VAR's gone on holiday because this week, I mean, look, we've been negative about it most of the time, but this week you've had Chelsea getting what I thought was the most blatant penalty ever not getting given. City, the Cancelo red card, you can argue it. I've got no problems with the red card, but there's an argument to be had. Then City should have had a penalty. There was a few other decisions in that game. Schlupp should have been sent off. The Benteke one, I'm a bit... Oh, sorry, the Watkins penalty. I was literally screaming at my TV.
Yeah.
I literally, in the group chat, I said, they've just not been given the most penalty I've ever seen. And someone said, what about Werner? And I was like, okay, yeah, they're probably level. Like, they're just they're just penalties. So yeah, Schlupp was just an easy decision that should have been an easy red card. And you had I know BT Sport have Peter Walton on, who's clueless, but he's an ex-ref, so they have him on every week. And he's become a laughing stock. I think they only bring him on now for banter. But so basically he always agrees with it. No matter what the ref says, he agrees with it. But then if someone later points out that like you're so wrong, it's unbelievable, he then agrees with that as well. So he said, it wasn't a red card because it was too early in the game. And he also said it was an orange card. Then, the Benteke one, I'm a bit 50-50 on it. I probably thought it could, if it was given as a red, I don't think anyone would have been too shocked. But I wasn't sitting here going, the most obvious red ever. But then when I heard VAR's reason for not sending him off, I was like, okay, you're a disgrace. It's actually a red card. Because if they'd have said, he didn't mean to make contact with his face, or the contact with his face was minimal, which is the area of red card, I'd have gone, yeah, you know what? Because I think he's half gone to push him and his elbows hit the bottom of his chin. But their actual reason was Benteke used negligible force. So basically, you're allowed to hit people in the face as long as you don't do it very hard. Yeah. This is what VAR is trying to tell us.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
I have no real problems with it not being a sending off. But
who said that?
When you're telling me no, VAR. That was VAR's actual reason. Also, on the VAR thing, when I was just saying how much of a disgrace they've been this weekend, Cavani's goal yesterday was great. He was also 87 yards offside. Like, just I don't know what VAR was playing at. And then they said apparently the ref told Bruno Fernandes he touched it in order to play Cavani off. They said to Fernandes after the game, "Did you touch it?" And he went, "I don't know, but the ref said I did." Like, what the fuck? What is this game? VAR, like when I said earlier, teams are on the beach. VAR are on the beach. They're just fuck this off, man. I can't be asked, and they're just pressing buttons and seeing what happens. I honestly believe they've got 2 buttons in front of them. They close their eyes and press one, and that's it. It's either a goal or not, depending on what button they press with their eyes closed. Like they spin around their chair 3 times as well, so they're a bit unbalanced. We don't know where the buttons are.
Tony, the first half commentary for, I think it was the West Ham game, the commentator literally, there was a challenge which was just almost 100% a yellow card. And the commentator literally said that even the refs seem to be treating today like an end of season match.
Yeah, the first half overlapped with us. I turned it on just about a minute before Souček scored the goal, so I didn't see it. But the VAR this week, look, VAR's not been great the whole time, but this week it's been a joke. And as I said, the Schlupp was 100% at sending off. I don't think anyone can argue that. Benteke there's an argument, but then the reason for it is a joke. With their goal, I don't think it's a foul. I think Elneny's too weak. I think he's there to be a blocker, but he realizes he's fucked up because he's tried to block him, but he's not in line with him. How can you block someone that's you got to be in front of them to block them?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he was behind him.
So he was wrong side, and then I don't know what Gabriel's doing. I literally he was just lying down for no reason. Like I don't know. I think he's trying to get something. I'm really not sure.
I'll have to go back and have a look.
I thought there was half a chance of offside, and they didn't even paint the lines on the picture because VAR can't be bothered anymore.
No, I didn't think it was an offside.
No, I don't know. Looking at first angle, I was like, oh, there's half a chance. I'm not saying it was offside.
Yeah.
But then usually you get forensically from NASA within 1 millimeter, like measuring the grass. We got nothing. They showed it, they paused it, they didn't draw any lines, and then they just started looking at whether it was a foul or not. And as I said, for me, it wasn't a foul. You
know what threw me a little bit was I kind of knew that was going to happen from Benteke. Like that's
the thing is, Benteke's playing well the last month or so. But if Benteke didn't score for 500 games in a row, and you said to him, "What team do you want to play against next?" he would say Arsenal. Like so, and as I said, I think he's got 4 in 4 now. So going into that game, the safest bet was Benteke to score anytime. Like,
exactly.
And Leicester tried to sign him.
Did they?
Yeah, and he demanded too much money.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, it's the defending was woeful, I thought. What do? We go in. That was after half time when they got the goal. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a draw. A couple of subs were made. Odegaard, and I'm still knives out on Odegaard. I really am. I don't know what he does. I don't really know what he even offers.
Fantastic assist though.
It reminded me of Ozil against Swansea when Monreal came in at the back post.
It was that, but 20 times worse. Like I'm not in for this instance. I'm not digging Odegaard out, but it was worse than that. Let's not put it in the same category.
Yeah. No.
I'm glad you said that, Tony.
Wait, hold on. When I mean in the same category, as in like the same, maybe like similar run and similar where the ball went, not in like execution, because that what Monreal, even the finish from Monreal was class for that goal. Obviously the Martinelli one was a.
Yeah, but do we have to wait not on the 91st minute for that to happen every game? Like prior to that, he was shit.
Yeah.
He done one assist. Had he not got that assist, you'd be sitting there going, "Where was he?"
To be fair to Odegaard, he wasn't that shit when he came on. We
what?
Look,
what?
I'm absolutely gobsmacked with that. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, I must be watching a different game.
I swear on my life, and I put this in the group chat earlier, so you lot can check. About 10 seconds before the goal, I said, if this guy's starting on Sunday, I'm not even watching. I'm not turning my TV on. He makes it like it's so irrational how angry he makes me because he just does nothing and he actively makes everyone else worse by giving them the ball too late, too early, even for the goal. Even for the goal, look how horrendous his ball was to Pepe. Like too late, too wide, and then Pepe has to chase it while I bring it back. I'm not the ball for the goal. Well done. Like I'll applaud you. But he has even his completed passes are wrong. He chills on the half. He chills on the sideline. Like he's a 10 that stands on the wing. He hugs the touchline more than our wingers. And then
how many times do you see him though? He puts a ball into space, and it's like he expects. There was a couple with Aubameyang and Pepe, and he expects him to run 10k to fucking get the ball. Like, and I'm like,
No, he actually makes me upset. Like,
Yeah,
he
he pisses me off.
actually upsets me.
Yeah, I did like him, but I've been really watching him lately, and yeah, that's a good ball, right, to Martinelli. That was a great ball, but that was also the 91st minute of a great ball. You've had fucking how many chances all game to get that great ball, and look, it is what it is. But can anyone else do that ball? Yes, I think a lot of people can probably do that ball over to Martinelli, and you've got to take your hat off to Martinelli. He composed himself. Got the goal. Go on, Addy. I can see you wanting to say something.
No. The only thing, like, I only watched, like, let's say second half. Let's say I think like even like final 15 minutes. And I won't lie, when Odegaard put that ball in, the first person I thought of was Tony. That was the first person I thought. I was like, yes, Odegaard, yeah. But obviously, I don't know how he played, but that was the first person I thought.
Oh, Eddie. I don't know how he played, but fuck, I'm telling you, it was shock.
Is that his first assist for the club?
No.
I feel he's got one more somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's had the Europa. What are we including Europa?
Go on, count it. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Did he not set up Aubameyang once?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't. I think the game you're thinking of was the 3-2, and Saka definitely got similar ball to today. Actually, the Saka got the last one. The other one slotted into Aubameyang. I feel like that was Saka as well.
Okay, maybe.
I'm not. I might be wrong. It's unusual, but I might be.
Maybe. But yeah, no, I think like this is the thing with Odegaard. I think that one, not every player can come into the league and hit the floor running. And I think he needs, if he was to stay at Arsenal next year, I think he would have a better season.
If I asked you, Addy, to describe how Odegaard plays, what's your and go through your pros and cons?
You'd start singing the Casper the Friendly Ghost theme tune.
But you know, if let's say a West Ham fan said, "Oh, we're getting not West Ham," let's say, I don't know, somebody who's not even watched the Premier League, and they go, "Oh, what's Odegaard like? He did a year at Arsenal on loan. Like, what's he like?" How do you describe him?
No, for me, I describe him as a Mesut Ozil light, in the sense that I don't see him.
Come on.
Hold on. Let me explain. I do think he has the vision of Mesut Ozil, but it's the execution.
No, you're right the first time. He has the vision of Mesut Oval.
Yeah,
no, he has the vision.
He visions him in his dreams.
He just doesn't have the execution, but I do think he has the ability. But then at the same time, I think he matches Ozil in the sense of like his physicality in the game. Obviously, I think he presses more than Ozil. As in, like, and that's I think that's a positive from him. He can do that early press, but yeah, I think that the game is just too quick and too physical for him. I won't lie. I do feel, but which is why I think that if he was here next year, I do think he will progress. He needs to bulk up a bit more, like similar to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe has gotten bigger, and I feel that like he can actually play in the league. I think for a whole season, like Odegaard will do better next year.
You're Real Madrid. You're looking at Odegaard on loan. You're thinking to yourself, do we bring him back to Real Madrid? Was the loan a success, or do we look to sell this bloke?
They won't sell him. They won't look like me. I do watch Real Madrid. They're my Spanish team. Like, if I was Real Madrid, I'll send him out on loan again, and I think would I send him out to Arsenal again? Maybe not. I would actually say send him out to maybe a bigger team. I like as much as I hate to say it, I don't think Arsenal will give Real Madrid what they need with him playing here. I don't think so. Huh?
And this is my point. Like, yeah, I can understand from your argument. I completely respect the fact that Martin would look. He was very good. Then he had injury for a fair few weeks. Then he dropped off form. He needs to get used to the league. I completely get. If he was to be here another season, would he probably improve? 100%. He's shown good moments. He's also shown some not so great moments. He showed issues. Yeah. However, let's say for argument's sake, the Stan gives us a shit ton of money or no money because the situation still remains the same. We've got a player at number 10 who is one of our own and is, yes, his goal scoring ability hasn't been the greatest, but that comes with stuff like pre-seasons and time to work on that. He's young. However, on the ball, his stats are matching the best number 10s in the league for assists, for contributions, for pre-assists, for big shots created. Look, you can say we want about stats, but they're there for a reason. Emil has been consistently one of the best performing players in the league. And if I got to be honest with you, if he added goals to his game, he would be considered, if not, or even more, because considering the players around him, in the same category as Foden, in my opinion. And I know that's controversial.
I knew you were going to say Foden, and I automatically wanted to tell you you was going to wrong. I knew what was coming.
I knew
He's
it.
not. Foden's
Foden's a different level because he scores. Emil on the ball, though. But you have to understand, Foden's doing this with world-class players around him. Emil was transformed. And this is one stat I want to run as well. Since Emil got put in the team at number 10, so since the Chelsea game, 23 games, we're second. Does that not show how Arteta's system's been benefiting off having someone like Emil? Because he has been the catalyst.
Look, no one needs me to go through Smith Rowe propaganda because I've been running it for 2 years. But I'm not having him in the same category as Foden.
No,
I agree.
He could be if he added goals to his game.
Yeah, but like anyone could be anything if something happens.
Yeah.
But what you said before about comparing him to Odegaard, I said since day one we've got someone younger, better, who is our own. And when I said it at the start, people weren't too happy about it. After the West Ham game, everyone came for me, and probably rightfully so because Odegaard was a joke that day. Where are you now? Come for me now.
See,
like, it's just the thing. Odegaard actively makes everyone else worse because his timing of passes is so erratic. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. Sometimes he plays it in front of you to run onto. Sometimes he plays it to your back foot. Like there's just no consistency. You can see when Emil's got the ball. I don't even think his passing's that incisive, to be honest. But the players know what they're gonna get. They know, like Pepe knows he can start his run because it's coming there. Like whoever's on the other side, be it Saka, they know what runs he's going to make. He's just consistent and I don't mean in level of performance, which he is, but I mean he's consistent in what he does. You know the runs he's going to make. You know when he's going to overlap, when he's going to underlap, what passes he's going to make, when he's going to burst past a man or at least try it. With Odegaard, you ain't got a clue. He ain't got a clue what he's going to do. And I said that. I mean that even with a 5-yard pass is not a basic pass anymore because you don't know whether to get off on your bike, go down the line, or hold your position, or run 10 yards backwards for no apparent reason. And that's the most annoying thing about Odegaard is the amount of times he gets in behind and turns back. He done it again today at one point, and I was just like, "Oh, this guy." I'm sure he's been put on earth to annoy me. I'm convinced.
Look, continuing on this game quickly, boys, because I want to wrap this game up, and we'll talk about some other stuff. Pepe got the third goal. Odegaard got the assist on that one too, didn't he?
No,
I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
No.
Okay, no, that's all right. But look, for me, all I was going to say is stand up and applaud Pepe for that because that was all Pepe, and that's what I like to see from Pepe. That's the you're talking about what Odegaard offers, and you're discussing that. I don't think he offers much, but I understand where you're coming from, Addy. But Pepe, on the other hand, I know what he can do, and that driving forward is what I love so much about Pepe. I hope he brings it again next season. I think he's trying to. I think we're going to see a big season from Pepe next season.
You know what? We said this at this point last year because he ended the season really well with an assist in the semi and then the final and a few goals. But it was interesting today. I'm not trying to slander him because I've always liked him. But It was interesting today. So on BT Sport, the pundit was Freddie Ljungberg, who obviously managed him, was at the club when we signed him, but also managed him for whatever it was, 6 weeks. And he basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially said Pepe's incredible. He's so quick, so strong. He can beat anyone. His finishing is really good. But he said in France, he cheated all the time. That's all he done. It was his job. It wasn't like he was acting against a manager, but his job was to cheat. So then by the time he got the ball, the defenders are nowhere near him and he's 1-on-1 or 2-on-1. He beats one man and he's in, or he's just using his pace to get in. He said he really struggled to adapt to having to defend as well. And then not also just running. Then obviously because he's running back, he's now 30 yards deeper. But he said like the ability is there, and it looks like Arteta's kind of getting the best of both. Where you have to do your defensive work. I was talking to one of my mates about this, and nowadays there's no cheaters in the Premier League, or they've all been found out. So Bale is the utmost of them, and every time Tottenham have a biggish game, Bale gets dropped because he's a liability. And we was trying to think, and I can't think of a single player in the Premier League that cheats.
Well, two that I would think of, and as you said that line just quickly, I was thinking Zaha, Mahrez.
Do you know what? One of my mates said the only one he could think of was Mahrez, and I don't think he does. I mean, look, City get him to stay high and wide by instruction, but he comes back. He doesn't just chill, but he does stay high and wide. That was the only one my mate said, and for me, Zaha, I don't think he does. I don't think he's good defensively, but he puts the work in. I said he might get beat because he's shit at it.
You probably don't call it cheating, but that was the only two that I could kind of think of at the top of my head.
I just don't think it exists anymore. And a few years ago, I remember what year was it? Wigan won the FA Cup, whatever year that was, 2011 or 12. They had a guy who I'm not even sure if you guys remember, called Callum McManaman. It was his first season, and for 6 months he looked like the best player on earth. And then his career went to lower down the league, failed everywhere. Because for 6 months, he come into the league as a youngster and he was allowed to cheat because he's like, he's young, like he doesn't know what he's doing. We can't expect him to do that work. He looked incredible. As soon as someone actually tried to make him do something else, he didn't have a clue, and he was also a pisshead, which didn't help. But like just in football or in England, cheating doesn't happen anymore. Whereas it used to 10 years ago, everyone had a cheat. Like going back to even our Invincibles, you could argue that Pires was a cheat.
Pires, I was gonna say.
And going back, like you could look at the Man United teams, all the great teams. There was players that you could go, they didn't put the work in. Like, but now as I said, I can't think of anyone where there's an argument against it.
Okay, boys, 3, 2, 1. Staying with you for a minute, Tony. Give us your 3, 2, 1.
Pepe's got to get the free. Obviously getting 2 goals. It's odd because we were really good in the first half, and Partey pretty much ran the show, but I thought he was quite poor in the second.
I agree with that. I seen it change when he went off.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprising one. It's difficult. I don't think there's many standouts.
Odegaard for the assist.
No.
You know what? I've put KT up there. I mean, he was getting shit all night. Obviously got an assist, got up and down as usual, didn't get beat at all. So KT is 2. Who goes as 1? Chambers, because he didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything fantastic, but he dealt with Zaha. I don't think Zaha beat him all night. And if you're playing Palace and Zaha doesn't beat you, you're in for you're having a decent game.
Yep. No,
it's odd because if you'd have asked me at half time, it would have been completely different. But football's 90 minutes.
Jack?
Pepe 3, Leno 2, and probably Chambers in the 1.
Okay. Addy?
I thought Leno made some great saves. If it wasn't for Leno, we wouldn't have been in the game today.
I still don't. I'll be honest. I actually looked at him closely because I felt myself like, do I want him to go? Do I want him to stay? And lately I've been watching him really closely and watching where he is when, you've got the likes of somebody running at him. Like, I think there was the breakaway. Who was that? The player broke away.
Who was Zaha?
Was it Zaha? Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, and I thought to myself, "Oh, look at Leno! Like fuck!" And he managed to save it, but it was straight. Oh no, it was Townsend, wasn't it? Townsend, and it was a straight at Leno. Yeah, but and I just look at his positioning. I think, yeah, I'm not a goalkeeper, but
we've lowered the bar. We've lowered the bar because Jack said he made some great saves. For me, he made saves. Like if any of them go in,
he made one in particular that was a very, very good save. I can't remember when the game was. It was at his bottom right corner from the TV.
You're not talking about the Tompkins header in the first half.
No,
because that was going in the bottom corner at 1 mile an hour.
No, it wasn't that one.
The thing I look at is with him, when I say I'm watching him close, I'm thinking, right, Matt Ryan's on the sideline. Yes, he's an Aussie. Yes, I love him to start.
Yeah,
but I look at Leno and I think to myself, did you just save a goal that Matt Ryan can save and we're paying him half the money?
I'm sorry, but Leno is better than Matt Ryan.
He is.
As much as
Leno's a bit
Matt Ryan
underrated.
For example, look, last year Leno was my player of the year last year, and he proved that he could be a good keeper.
He was also our second best keeper last year.
Yeah, last year.
No, he wasn't. Tony. You can remember this. How many times last season, that season at away games, up until the league got stopped, right? Were we leaving away grounds and we were saying, "Fuck me"? Leno kept us in that game.
No.
Leno was outstanding until he got injured.
That Norwich match for me, Norwich away, was the match that I said, you know what, Leno, I will give you your props and your dues, because that match, the saves he did in that match,
he made one absolute wonder.
The left-footed one, they tipped onto the post, like that one. And I think there was a deflection as well in that match that he
of the same side of the goal.
Yeah, like literally, Leno last year, I said Leno, like literally, he actually.
You know what though? Year. I believe what you're saying there. He did save a lot of goals last year.
Yeah.
But we also looked at the defenders and said Mustafi, Socrates, Luis, compared to what we've got. Yeah. Compared to what we've got now.
Martinez had a better back line in front of him as well in that second half, in that post-lockdown period.
I think this has got to be a better back line now, hasn't it?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Hold on. Let me finish my point, though. The only thing I just wanted to say was that for you to go from good to great, like David De Gea in the Premier League, you have to be consistent. And he's shown he can't maintain that level across seasons. He's had one good season, and then this year it's gone.
I don't think. Yeah, I haven't heard his name.
Two good seasons.
I think after
Wolves away in that first Emery season,
after the fax machine debacle, he's been downhill.
Wait. Did you just say Wolves away? When we were 3-0 down after 25 minutes, and two of the goals were his fault.
Tony, the 3-1 loss.
Yeah, two of the goals were his fault.
Yeah, I said that was the one game that he was bad in. That was
you think he was only bad once?
No.
Huh? No, I said there was that one that I can remember, and then there was one other one as well, in particular in the run-in.
See, that's in that first season, he made a few good saves.
Yeah, the one the double save at Tottenham.
At Tottenham, was it the Maguire header when he was at Leicester? Yeah,
rather than hypothesizing, right, what everyone would continuing to discuss with Zealand, why don't you guys suggest who you'd want to bring in if we could bring in another keeper realistically?
Anyone.
Too many people say
the best
change something, but they won't give an option.
I know. I'll give you an option.
After last week, I read a bit about this Ajax keeper who's on suspension.
Oh no.
Mate, I don't think he's bad.
No. He's not bad. He's again now. Onana is a good goalkeeper, but that's the problem with Arsenal. Like
he's only 24 too, I think.
He's come through. He came through the Barcelona youth setup,
and that,
then like
I'm not his biggest fan, but purely because he's not scared of the ball at his feet. it puts him above.
6'2". Ignore that. He's not small.
Yeah. Nah, I think he's a good goalkeeper. And to be fair, you don't need a great goalkeeper to win things because I won't lie to you, Victor Valdez was not a great goalkeeper. He was a good keeper, and he worked in what Pep wanted to do with that team. Like he saw when he left Barcelona, he wasn't he wasn't a great goalkeeper, but he was a good goalkeeper.
What, Middlesbrough?
But yeah, Middlesbrough, where he went quite a few other places as well. But yeah,
I got to drop this in there, but it was shameless. I was watching Take the Ball, Pass the Ball, the Barcelona documentary about them that season under Pep, and everyone there's all wearing proper clothes and to look great for their interviews. Valdez wore his fucking Middlesbrough tracksuit.
Is there anybody in the championship that comes to mind? Like
David Raya.
Yeah, that's the only.
Raya is shit.
This is the thing.
I hate this shout.
No. I don't want Raya. If I was to get a keeper now, I'll get Meslier, Leeds United goalkeeper.
Well, I've seen who's that bloke at
Leeds
Swansea?
keeper.
Leeds keeper.
Leeds. He's not bad.
Oh no, Woodman. Says Woodman's on loan, I think, from Newcastle. We were linked with him because his dad was our keeper coach, but he'd been sacked. But it depends. Look, if you're going to be happy with a guy that can save the ball but can't kick, go and buy Nick Pope. He's much better in the air. He'll come and claim a cross, and he saves the ball better than Leno. But you've got the same issue. He can't kick. So now do you look in an ideal world, you want someone that saves the ball, catches the ball, and can kick. We sold that guy already. So now you're looking for the next one. And it's very difficult. There's not too many of them out there. So then you've got to make a compromise somewhere. Do you want the guy who's better with the ball at his feet? And that's when you look at Onana or...
Yeah, so somebody that can...
That's like when Arsenal decided to sign Runnison because he was good with his feet but couldn't use his hands.
Give us your one.
You have to make a compromise, but not the whole thing. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not saying we should go and sign Szczesny back, but I prefer him to Leno.
I take Szczesny back now. Honestly, I would never have said this. Szczesny and Ramsey, I take back now because they'd be cheap and they means we can facilitate money in other areas. And they know the club and they love the club. And I always like Szczesny. I always like.
Look, I don't think Ramsey get on with Arteta for starters. I just can't I like Ramsey. We've all liked to think who could replace Ramsey, and we've all said you can't replace Ramsey. But if Ramsey come back, I just don't think he'd get on with Arteta.
I don't think.
They loved each other.
I agree with that. No, I don't think he suits his football.
It's fucking hard. If I'm everyone's mate and I'm trying to be your boss, it's fucking hard. Let me tell you.
Go ahead, Jack.
No, your mic's gone, Jack.
Can you hear me?
You're out.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry. He posted when Arteta got the job on Instagram that how he's so happy for his dear friend, and it was a picture of them celebrating a goal together in the Champions League. And I reckon they would get on. I think Ramsey's work rate alone it would be perfect for someone like Mikel. He's literally what we've been crying out for a lot of the season. He's
how do you sit there?
What position do you play Ramsey in Arteta's philosophy? What position do you play Ramsey?
Bear in mind, I think he'd be a squad player.
You don't.
You can't.
No. But I'm just saying, what position would you play Ramsey? Because sometimes
against the weaker teams, especially, you could play that City. Although I wouldn't I don't like Partey as a sole DM. I like him with someone next to him. You could play Partey in the base with Emil and Ramsey ahead of him, and you have Ramsey in that kind of 8 hybrid role.
Wait, with Emil, what was that? Emil in the 8?
No, Emil in the 10 and Ramsey in the 8 hybrid role. In like a box to box. His work rate's full. Look, I'm in a group chat, and a mate of mine just put in the group chat about an hour ago, saying that he thinks the perfect partner to someone like Partey be Joe Willock. I mean, that's delusional.
Hell no.
Willock, you sell Joe Willock. I'd be kicking your mate out of that group chat.
Literally, he prefers Arsenal to fail than Arteta to do well.
I seen this last week, Joe Willock.
Sell him now.
25.
What you can get for him?
Don't even wait for the next game in case he has a bad one. Sell him tomorrow morning.
Okay, boys. We're going to continue. No, I'm still waiting on Jack to get his one.
Oh yeah,
I gave you my one.
No, he said Chambers.
You said,
Yeah.
you said Chambers, righto. Okay, go, Addy.
From my 15 minutes, Pepe 3, Odegaard 2, and because I saw that last-ditch tackle when Zaha broke through, Gabriel 1.
Well, so Martinelli gets a goal and don't get rated, no?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought that goal was almost. I thought they were gonna rule out for handball. I won't even lie to you.
How? Didn't touch his hand?
I was. No. I was scared because they were looking.
No, they were trying to make it touch his hand. Though. They looked it enough times.
And you just see the blurry fucking ball. I'm thinking, if you fucking call handball, I'm gonna fucking smash his TV.
Honestly, I was
VAR
scared,
this
man.
season, they got CGI
scared.
against us.
I was scared when they're looking at that. But yeah, no, Gabriel. Sorry, no.
Gabriel was great with everything on the floor and quick, and his recovery pace is what we know it is. Benteke took him to school. Every time the ball was in the sky, Gabriel, nah, I'm cool. You have it. He weren't interested, but I knew someone would say something about that run at the end and try to claim Gabriel's world class again, which is what our fans like to do.
Don't worry, I'm gonna watch the whole match like later on, maybe tomorrow morning now. But yeah.
But you know, even as someone who doesn't rate him, as I didn't know it was Zaha at first, but as soon as the ball went through to him and I saw that Gabriel was like 3 or 4 yards behind, I was like, you know what, we're cool. If it is any of our defenders, I want it to be Gabriel.
Yeah.
Then I saw it as Zaha and I thought, okay, well maybe we're not cool, but that's not Gabriel's fault. That's because it's Zaha.
Can I ask you a question on that note?
No. Just stop. I want to get a 3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I've done mine.
After it's about Zaha.
I've done mine. Pepe, Odegaard, Gabriel.
Pepe, Odegaard. Fucking Odegaard. Fuck that cunt. Yeah, Pepe 3 for me. How long was Grenard on the field for?
No.
He's got to be getting close to the player of the season, surely.
Look,
I'm going to give.
Granit actually did do well when he came on, to be fair.
He did. I'm going to give Partey 2 because I did think, you know, he was good, like you said, Tony, in the first half. I know he went down, a little bit, but I still think he was thereabouts. And Martinelli for the 1, I thought that goal was brilliant. He's still a pest, you know. He just bugs you, and I do like that.
Remember we had this conversation a few weeks ago. First goal he's ever scored coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember you saying a few weeks ago, I like him coming off the bench, and I said, I found out that he had never scored, which surprised me.
Yeah.
Now he has.
Now he has, yeah. Yeah, because that's right. We're talking about it, yeah. And I felt like he had before, but yeah. He's good. I like him. Just a couple in the chat. Bagging Willock, boys. Rick says, bagging Willock. There's a player there, boys.
Yeah, for
correct.
Newcastle.
Not an Arsenal player. No, I think there is. Me and Addy have similar views, but slightly different. There is a player in there. He's not an Arsenal player.
No, I think he's a championship at most player. Look,
okay. Addy's going over the top.
Okay, so for example, if you don't sign Jesse,
your mic keeps going. Every time you lean forward, your mic goes.
Sorry, that he would be a good player for West Ham if they don't sign Lingard. So his peak level would be a team like that, and that's no disrespect because I completely respect
to who? To who?
Like a West Ham at the max.
Have you looked at the ladder?
No, regardless of this season. I mean, if you're going notorious how teams are, it'd be a sort of a West Ham, like that kind of caliber at the top, like a mid-table Premier League team.
Roberta says he likes Willock. I like Willock. He says I haven't watched much of him.
I'm not sure if I said this on here at the time, but one of my betting customers, a Newcastle fan, and the day they signed him, he said to me, like, "What can you tell me about him?" And I said, if you get him running off the midfield and you're not asking for possession football and you get your wingers wide and putting balls into the box, he'll score a lot of goals by making late runs. If you ask him to play football, you will think he's the worst player you've ever seen. He can't combine through the midfield. He's great at getting on the end of things and being in the box. His finishing's half decent. He's quite tall. He's quite quick. Actually, Lundberg said the other day that he was as quick as Aubameyang, which surprised me. But you can see he's got his rangy. He's got a big stride. But yeah, he's just his basics of football and not good enough. So you need to miss him out. If you're just playing completely down the wings and getting crosses in, great. But as a footballing side, and if you play him as a 10, you need a 10 to be able to create chances. And he's just not good enough with the boys. I don't think he's a bad player.
I think he's a limited player. Cool. yes, you can get him in a Premier League squad, but I think he is a player that would dominate the Championship, come up to a Premier League team, and then I think he's one of them that would just yo-yo with a club. I don't.
You know what? I hope Newcastle buy him. To be honest, I think Newcastle's a great spot for him. And they got a lot of history in that club, and a lot of the fans around the world. Like he will get seen there. So Newcastle for me is a great fit for him. I hope he blossoms there and maybe moves to wherever he moves to a big club. But I don't think under Arteta, and I don't think Arsenal are a good fit.
It's nothing to do with Arteta.
No, it's not really. I think like throwing that name in. No, it's just I don't think he's a good fit at Arsenal.
With reference to Joe, like if you think about where we are this kind of the end of the season, the players that are rumoured to be leaving, etc., it is quite understandable why we could get above 20 million for someone like Willock, potentially around the same for someone like Eddie, based on his under 20.
If we're not looking at 30 plus for Willock, we're doing it wrong.
But just hear me out. One thing that might not be a stupid deal to put in if we want him, especially after how Norwich ended the season, it wouldn't be stupid to offer them like Norwich something like 10 million plus Willock for Buendia if they're still playing high ball over their offers, or to use him as collateral against some, maybe even Brighton for Bissouma to offer Willock plus 15-20 million. It wouldn't be a stupid.
He can't play football. Brighton wouldn't go anywhere near him.
Yep.
The only person he plays 1-2s with is his first touch.
Even Norwich, I can't see Norwich taking him. Is he going to play with Cantwell in that mid? Cantwell will be like, what the hell?
He's effective off the bench.
The thing is, but Norwich ain't spending 30 million plus on a squad player. The Newcastle, like their fans love him. They've come accustomed to him. They know what he can do. Look, scoring 6 goals in a row in the Premier League is not easy. Whether you rate him or not, it don't happen. He's the youngest player to ever do it. Like Newcastle is got to be the prime, and if they've for me, the price is minimum 30 million. And if they've got that money, if they're ready to spend that money, If they're ready to spend that money, that's where he should go.
You see how you're saying 30 for him, yeah? Same thing as me with when people say get 20 for Eddie. Eddie is, if I get more than 10 million for Eddie, I am.
Yeah, happy. But I agree with you, but people are basing that on Brewster. Who's shit.
No, I agree.
And
again, I agree with you.
A lot older than you think.
I agree with you, but then Eddie.
Didn't we reject 20 for Eddie?
No, we rejected 20 for Ainsley.
Oh, no.
Which we should have taken. We were fucking
again,
and I said that at the time, and people gave me shit.
And what's poor old bloody?
No, I would have taken it. I was ready for that. I was ready to take that.
What's happening with Nelson? Like, where are we rating him on the?
To be fair, I think look. This is the sort of thing where a Conference League would be good because he hasn't had to play because we've had Willie and he's been dog shit.
No, the kid's a joke.
It depends who we sign.
No, but did he reject a loan or what?
Twice. Summer and January. Twice. The kid's a joke. He doesn't want to be a footballer. He wants to tell people he plays for Arsenal. That's it. He wants to put on Instagram, player for Arsenal. That's it. Doesn't want to have to play. Fuck that. That's hard work. Might get injured. Just wants to chill.
Happily doing it. Yeah.
I don't know who I was discussing that. Like similar to what I think one of my friends similar to what Smith Rowe did, and he went to Huddersfield and he played and he got game time and he played men's football and he understood it and he actually played. He got the fans behind him. That helped Smith Rowe. I don't understand why Willock. You're not a Premier League player yet.
Nelson.
Sorry,
Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson. You're not.
He went to Germany.
No, he went to Germany, but didn't start. He weren't starting.
He hardly played.
That's right. Yeah.
And the thing is, with Smith Rowe, what people don't give him credit for is not only did he go to the Championship, he went to the bottom end of the Championship, and also like Huddersfield is not the nicest of places. Sorry if anyone lives in Huddersfield. So he was away from home. He went the hard way. If he'd have gone to Fulham, he wouldn't be as good as he is now. Like, so you've got Reece here rejecting moves everywhere, thinks they're beneath him, and then Emil went to not just a low move to the Championship, a hard move, and that for me, character tells me a lot about a player. Okay, you need ability as well, but that as soon as he went there, And as I said, I've been banging on about him for years anyway. As soon as he went there, some people were trying to say to me, "Oh, your boy's gone to the bottom of the Championship. He must be shit." I was like, "This is what will make him." Like,
I'm
people
just
I
gonna...
can't even get a Prem move. I was like, "No, this is the move that gets him there."
We were talking about Willock, and I just got to touch on a couple of comments. Rick says Ashley ain't paying 30 for Willock, and I possibly agree with him.
Didn't they spend 45 on Joe Linton? And aren't they still trying to get the number?
Moe says we got to keep Joe, boys. And I'm seeing lots of that.
Look, Tez, this is one of the main issues I have with Arsenal fans, right? Nothing's ever fucking good enough. So, and this is no disrespect to the guy commenting, but I've seen this a lot. They'll say, "Oh, we should keep him. He's doing good." If let's say we rejected £20 million off and we're trying to hold out for 30 and ends up staying, right? For argument's sake. When he has a fucking stinker and he comes off the bench, he doesn't score in the first game of the season. It'll be shit. He should have fucked off. We should have sold him. There's no fucking in between. There's no kind of consistency. Like there are times where you have to actually understand on the face value if something is good business. In the same way that some deals haven't gone away in the past, but some have. If, for argument's sake, if we get 5-10 million for Willian, that's fucking great business. Do you know what I mean? But in the flip side, if we're
that was a failed experiment.
You sometimes have to cash in on players who aren't going to be starting for you, aren't good enough to be starting with you, especially if we don't end up in Europe because he ain't going to fucking play. I'd rather take the 30 million. Let's say Kroenke gives us 100 to 200 million. Whatever it is, he has to put money in because his asset's going to go down in value and he needs to try and rebuild it, or he actually will be forced to take this takeover offer. And if he's holding out, he has to invest. So on that rhetoric, I would much rather add an extra 100, 120 million on top of whatever we can spend as well, because we've got about 150 million pounds worth of players to sell. And if that means we get 30, even 20 for Willock, I'm fucking taking it within a heartbeat. Because if we can go sign a player with the right profile for how Arteta wants to play, we could build something serious. Because one thing we do have at the moment is a core of great players. We have a few players in particular, and I don't need to name them because they're obvious, who could be part of a very successful future for Arsenal Football Club. And they need the right players around them. Not necessarily names. They need the right players to complement them to achieve the best out of them. And Joe Willock is not that.
I agree with you. My only problem is that Tony will know this, Tez will know this. We don't have the right manager to take us forward. But yeah, again, that's my
from when we changed to 4 at the back, when Arteta started playing his system, although we still didn't have the players, and bear in mind how many players left in the transfer window. Bear in mind as well that we're playing every 3 days. You can't train the players and coach them to prove everything is focused on the next game or rest days. We are second in the league in the last 23 games.
So we're second.
Does that
in the
not
league
show a positive end season? That doesn't show me a reason to sack.
Hold on. We're second in the league for the last 23 games. Yeah. Where are we now in the league?
8th.
So second in the league.
9th.
We're 9th. We're second in the league for the last 23 games. But we've only gone from 11th to 9th. So, what happened with all the other teams?
They had a better start to the season. We were shit at the beginning. We had a lot of issues. We had a lot of goal scoring issues. And I think one other thing you have to look at, Addy, and this is why I'm gonna have brought up my stats. If you look at under normal circumstances, if you look up the Premier League table like I am right now, if we max our points, right? If everyone maxes points, we will finish about somewhere between 6 and 8 points of Champions League football. Okay, depending on how the last game of the season goes. If you chuck in alone the fact that our star strikers and who are meant to be the focal point of our team have had a lot of their own issues, whether that's health issues, family issues, God, whatever it can be. Yes, a bit of poor form in there as well. 100% the lack of creativity was there, and that is to an extent the manager's fault. However, when the manager recognises that issue and changes it, we have then been very good since, if you want to go on what the stat shows from when we moved to a 4. However, what the point I'm making with Aubameyang as an example is if Aubameyang was scoring the goals and he was as prolific as he has been in previous seasons, right, which very clearly has been impacted by his personal situations, we would be in the Champions League. That's like 15, 16 more goals. We haven't been scoring enough goals. We haven't been clinical. And then our young players, like the likes of Saka, Martinelli, etc., they haven't been clinical enough. But unlike normal situations when you could train them in a pre-season or you'd have like a mid-season break or whatever, depending obviously what's come in recently with the Premier League, we have no time to train those players to improve. Because as I said before, everything will be structure-based to work for the next game. Because we've been playing every 2-3 days now for 6 months.
Hold on, wait a minute. I've seen this.
He needs time to coach. He needs time with the players. He hasn't had a preseason. He's been
Can
a year
I
and a half.
just while Addy's thinking there for a minute, and I just want to cut in quickly, right? On Jack's because he talked about stats and stuff. But look, we all look at the table. We play 38 games. Arsenal have won 17 games. We've drawn 7 and we've lost 13. So regardless of when it happens or what it happens, over the time of the season, at best, we're going to win 18 games. Everton have spent lots of money. For me, Everton have failed. They've also won 17 games, drawn 8, lost 12. Tottenham 17, 8 and 12. West Ham 18, 8 and 11. That's massive for West Ham, right? Leicester 26 and 11. So, to get in the top 4, you've got Liverpool.
Wait, have Leicester not drawn a game? That can't be right.
No, yeah, 26 and 11. 6. They've drawn 6 games.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. No, I've heard that as 26-11.
Okay, yeah, 26 and 11. Liverpool have won 19. They've drawn 9, though, and they've lost only 9 games. So, looking at the table, the Premier League is over 38 games. I'm not going to say, but from Christmas, we're second on the ladder, because over a whole, I look at the table and think, hey, we've still only won 17, maybe 18 games this season.
But we don't normally win more, Tez. So
but I'm also looking at top goal scorer for Arsenal is Lacazette on 13, Aubameyang 10. Pepe
Chelsea killed that argument. You've said a lot that I agree with, but you can't bring up that argument when Chelsea's top scorer is on 6 with 6 penalties. So the goal scorer, we've discussed time and time again how goal scorer market's fucked. Look, I'm not arguing the whole point. I'm just arguing that point.
Yeah, but the only thing I'll say with Chelsea is that cool. Even though their strikers that have not scored, they haven't conceded.
Agree.
Even if they're just winning,
completely agree. I'm just saying you can't say, we're shit because Aubameyang's only got this when Chelsea, their top scorer, has only scored penalties.
The other stat I'm looking at is we've scored 53 goals and we're conceded 39 goals. Now that's the best on the. If I look down to the whole season, that's the best team. So we don't concede a lot, but we don't score a lot. As compared to Manchester United, they're 471 minus 43. We're thereabouts, but I'm just confused on why are we looking at it from Christmas. And I seen this the other day where people said, but we have VAR, and had VAR not been in this season, we'd be now second on the ladder because we've had so many against us. I'm sorry, guys.
Football don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
Football doesn't work like that. However,
it doesn't. It works over 38 weeks with the rules that are there.
It doesn't work like that. But when judging the manager, right, is it also not worth? I'm not saying these factors mean that he has to stay. I completely respect why people would think he should leave. Do I disagree 100%? However, and this is a very, very valid point. If you look at all the mitigating circumstances, I'm not trying to use all these excuses saying this is the reason, or that's the reason. I'm saying you can evaluate why certain things haven't gone well. Because let's be real, VAR has cost us on at least 4 games this season. I'm not saying it's because I understand it's what ifs and I get that. But I'm saying rather than judging Arteta as a manager, there also has been a lot which hasn't gone his way.
I agree with that.
Can I just quickly, Addy, before you respond, do you know you get that uncle just sits in the corner nodding, and you know he's about to say something? You're that every time I look, you're just there nodding, and I'm just waiting.
No, because this is the thing, is like I agree with that, but then I had the preseason thing. I had the like VAR. I agree with that, and I totally understand that. But for me and Arteta, I will say that everybody is in the same situation. Every team, some teams maybe more, some teams maybe less, have had shit VAR decisions. So it's not even just an Arsenal thing. It's actually been every team, and every team has been hit hard with VAR. Every team are in the same situation with preseason. Some of the major teams,
I agree with all that.
Some of the major teams have had to play in Europe as well, and only had 3 days to train and to do this. And so a lot of teams are in the same position. Obviously, not every team are in the right position. I mean, are in the same situation, but
all the same.
But all the same, and then
difference.
And for me now, I put some stats up in the group. I think 2-3 weeks ago. If you look at Arteta's second half of last year, the end of the season, till in the Premier League, from last season to the end of the year, the start of this year, and of this season to halfway of the season, and the second half of this season to the end of the season. I think I was looking at goals and goals against and goals scored and points.
Yeah,
everything is similar. There's no step change. There isn't, and for someone to be in a job for 18 months, there has to be a step change. But everything is similar. We're basically mapping our second half of last season. And my issue is, and I've raised this, I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, is that if you had something, you don't have all the players that you wanted. You didn't get the supposed transfer window you wanted. You didn't get the supposed players you wanted. If you want to make change, you make small changes and you slowly improve the team. Like if we had small improvements in this Arsenal team, as in like, and again in terms of where we're finishing, how we're playing, then I can understand. But he's gone from he went from a 4-2-3-1. He had some issues with that. Not everyone could play that formation. Went to a 3 at the back. That worked a bit for him. He started off this season with the 3 at the back. He won the FA Cup, won the League Cup. The Community Shield. Started the first game of the season with a 3 at the back at Fulham away, and everyone was really, really happy with that result. And then he flipped it to a 4 at the back. And that's where, for me, he made his error, because he knew he didn't have his team, but he had a solid foundation of what he wanted to play and how the players understood that. You just build on that until you get your team. And he said, no, I'm going to change it. And that's his decision. He made the decision. He said he didn't want to play. He didn't want to put Ozil in the squad. Again, that was his decision. Again, he wanted to put Willian.
Well, there's players who are buying on me out.
Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
You can't make a sweeping statement of something that hasn't been proven.
Hold on. He wanted to play Willian as a false 9 away at Manchester City. That was his decision. He also wanted to play Emil Smith-Rowe as a false 9 away at Villarreal, arguably one of our biggest games of the season. That was his decision. The guy has made decisions. He has made decisions. Substitutions as well, his decisions. He has made key decisions that has backfired. And like, for me, because of those decisions,
Europa League's another one.
We got to a semi-final.
Oh,
we didn't win it.
What did he do in the semi? Who did he roll out there? And what did he try and do? Like, I fucking can't understand
I'm sorry,
why you did that.
You're going to see United is going to dick over Villarreal.
I guarantee you they don't.
He got a semi-final in the Europa League and rolled out a fucking trying to be tricky system.
This was the draw we wanted.
In a game that is the most important game of the season,
we
you
didn't
roll
have a
out
fit
that.
striker.
Hold on. But then, hold on. Man United didn't have a fit striker when Rashford, all their strikers got injured. All their strikers
but
were
no
injured.
one scores goals for us.
Hold on.
Our players don't finish chances.
Hold on. All our strikers were injured. I mean, sorry, all the Man United strikers were injured. Van Gaal said, cool, Rashford, take your chance. He put him in. Against Arsenal. Cool, you're at home. He put him in. Was Martinelli injured? For Villarreal away, was Martinelli
the game before?
Martinelli was not injured.
No, I'm asking you a question. Was Martinelli injured? Villarreal away.
I don't think he played a full 90 minutes yet.
Was Martinelli injured? Villarreal away.
No, but he wasn't match fit.
No.
For the first one, he wasn't match fit.
No, but look, I'm a little bit. I
would have started him, but he wasn't match fit.
I'm just going to clear up too. I did say Arsenal had the best.
He had some injury issue.
The best defense, but it was actually, and then I realised Chelsea, 34, Arsenal 39. So our defense has improved, right? But the other thing is, Chelsea persevered with, and this is what throws me a little bit with Arsenal fans. Chelsea, right? Frank Lampard, you're out. Ex-player, tough luck, you're out, mate. We just can't continue like this. Arteta, ex-player. If his name was Emery, everybody'd be saying you got to go. But because he's an ex-player at Arsenal and his name is fucking Arteta, we'll give him another year. But what if we're 10th next year? Everybody says bullshit. Everybody says, if we're 10th next year, he's got to go. Well, what? Last year wasn't good enough? This year's not good enough? How many more fucking chances does people want to give him? Let's wait till next season when we're 10th and then go, oh, shit, he should go.
Tez, I've just the best way to answer that tweet, that also question, is with this tweet. And it says, if we sacked Arteta at Christmas and the replacement guided us to being the best team in the league outside of City for the remainder of the season, everyone will be feeling very different. He's got a lot wrong this season, and there's been times I thought we should probably move on, but I'm happy enough to give him another window and a good shot at next season. And that completely aligns with my whole point on Arteta. If we are in the same boat we are in now, come November, December, probably even mid-October, you bid it off, right? However, there have been improvements. Since we were diabolical, yes. He has turned it on. He has made it a lot better, right? And that the form since he moved to formation does prove that.
I disagree. I don't understand.
The point I'm making
You're going into semi-finals in the most important game of your season. You're going into the semi-finals and you start Smith Rowe up top.
Would you have
and Tez, why is that?
I can't fucking get it. You've never started Smith Rowe up top. He's never played as a striker in his fucking life. But we put him up
stop
top.
Talking over each other. I'm bored listening. I'm on the show.
Tez, why was that the most important game of our season? Why was Villarreal away one of the most important games of our season?
Because that was the trophy that we were winning. That was the one game, the one trophy that everybody said we'll give Arteta another go if we can get Europa League. The Premier League's out. We're done with the Premier League.
Oh, so we're done.
We're done. We're concentrating on the Europa League. That's where it is. And here we are in the Europa League. And you throw that shit out. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, mate, if I turn up, if you turn up the route you fucking misses, you don't put a fucking couple of holes in your franger. Fuck, I don't get it.
I have no clue what that saying is.
I don't understand why the fuck.
Neither does Tez.
Why the fuck? I'm fucking pissed off, I'm fucking filthy as, because you turn up for a game in the Europa League with your fucking starting lineup without a fucking striker. And that's your most important game to the fucking of the year.
You guys are all mad emotional. And you can tell because it's so easy to pick holes in every one of your arguments. Like, because you're so angry, you're just talking absolute nonsense. Like, my side of it, and I'm not going to say anyone else is wrong, my side of it is closer to Jack's in that the form recently, for me, gives him 6 months. Because, as I said, he's second. And I'm not discounting the first 14 games because they were nonsense. But if you're not gonna sack him in December, and I know Addy wanted to, but if you're not gonna sack him in December, now ain't the time. Of course, he was wrong in the both legs of the semi, because playing Smith Rowe in midfield was a joke as well in the semi, and also not playing Saka at left back. That's in the second leg. So I'm not trying to say he's never made any mistakes. He has, but also Guardiola's tried to be too clever in games. Tuchel just swapped his right centre back and his right wing back for no fucking reason and lost the FA Cup. I'm not hearing anyone. If Chelsea lose the Champions League final, there won't be a single person saying Tuchel out. Why? Arteta's doing better than him in the league since he's been there. So,
what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The table since Christmas, we're above Chelsea.
The table since Christmas, the table since Tuchel came in.
3 points.
What was he?
Where was Chelsea ahead of us?
Better off. I don't know.
It was one game. It was one game because the game that we changed was Chelsea at home against Lampard, and that was Lampard's last game, I think.
I don't think did Tuchel come in straight away.
Yeah, like that.
because for me, yeah, for me and Tony again now, like I agree with the thing that okay, if you're not going to sack him in December, you give him another 6 months. But then for me, that's give him another 6 months in December. And for me,
and he's second in the league.
We're not second in the league.
From then onwards, we're second in the league. That means he's been the second best performing manager in the Premier League since when he made the change.
We are 9th in the league.
How many Premier Leagues of the month has he won after Christmas?
Who cares?
It's irrelevant. That's
what you're saying. He's the fucking best manager.
Tez, you're talking shit.
From Christmas.
Tez, you're talking absolute shit. Like, be emotional, but you're talking shit. Like, let's sell every player that hasn't won. Do you know what? Sell Smith Rowe. He's not won Premier League Player of the Month. Let's get rid of him. He's shit. He's not won it. Who else? KT. He's never won Player of the Month. KT, fuck him off. We don't want KT. Get rid of him.
He's the difference since Christmas, Smith Rowe.
No, he's not. No, but he's not won Player of the Month. So by your criteria, let's sell him. Fuck it. Give him to Brighton. £3.
How can you say Arteta?
No, I'm just talking the same amount of shit you are.
How can you say Arteta's the best manager in the month?
No, Smith Rowe out.
Best manager since December.
He's shit. Saka, fuck him off. Newcastle might take Saka.
Arteta sitting 9th on the ladder, but you're the best manager. Well done, mate.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying, but people are. Well done, bro.
Yes, you made a ridiculous argument. Now you're arguing with yourself. You bring up a stupid point, and now you're arguing with it.
For context.
No. You know what? Steve Bruce won Manager of the Month. Get him in. Steve Bruce in.
Just for context.
If Steve Bruce ain't manager on Sunday, I'm not going. Let's all be ridiculous. Like, come on. Like, I say this all the time. There's enough reason to get rid of him. Let's not talk shit about it. Like, this is why I don't mind having this debate with Addy, because he's clear on his points and they're valid points. Don't say, he hasn't won Manager a month, so let's get rid of him. Come on. As I said, there's enough reason. Say he got 14 points in the first 14 games, and I'll go, yeah.
Compare that to 44 since he made the change. 40 fucking 4.
But Jack, you've got to understand that you've got your arguments and people are going to have their arguments, and their points are valid sometimes. But not winning Manager of the Month is not a valid argument to get rid of a manager.
Wait, can I just say, can we only sign players that feature in FIFA's Team of the Week on Ultimate Team?
No, I don't want any players. None of them won Player of the Month. Get rid of them all.
No, hold on. For
200 million Souček, he was a Team of the Season.
From Tez's point of view, I understand.
Don't defend that.
Hold on, no, wait, hold on. I can understand why he would say that in the sense of that, like, that he hasn't been recognized. I'm not saying that it's invalid, but I can understand why Tez is saying that, because he hasn't been recognized by anybody or the league to say that, okay, you've gained the most points during this last period of time, so that we should acknowledge that you're actually a team on the up or a manager on the up. That I can understand why he's. Do I think it's a valid argument? No, I don't. I don't, but I can understand that. But yeah, that is it for me. I think, but Tez made a point earlier. We at the start of the season, I wanted him gone. Cool. Everyone said give him to the end of the season. That is, for example, what I was told. Give him to the end of the season. Now, for me, we've gotten to the end of the season. We've failed on all of our targets this year. Failed. No top 4 finish. No top 6 finish. No winning the Europa League. No. But let's be honest. We had targets. Arsenal would have set Arteta targets at the start of the year, and realistic, achievable targets. He has failed on all of those.
But Addy, what could he have done more? Like literally, what the stat I read, the stat that started this debate was me saying that we're second in the league with 44 points since he changed the system.
We're not second in the league. We're not second in the league.
But I mean, Jack, I'm on the same side as you, but you can't say what could he have done more because we ain't won the FA Cup. We're 9th and we ain't won the Europa League.
In the league.
What he could have done more.
I mean for league position, Tony. I'm saying.
Yeah, but so what he could have done more is not been 9th. Look, Addy's. You can't really argue with Addy because 1, he's been consistent, and 2, his points are correct. That doesn't mean you have to agree with him, but you can't say what could he have done more. Not come 9th.
What I'm saying is, Tony, what I mean by that is on the basis that when he made that managerial change, when he needed to make a change for his career, right? If we're isolating to the Premier League, which is kind of the crux of the point, we've had since then 13 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. Even if we were to not have the point is that if you think about some of those losses, for example, you've got games like Wolves where we were completely dominating the game until halftime in a bullshit thing. I get it goes over to go. I get that. But the point I'm saying is that we could have gone unbeaten and we still might not have been in the top 4 because we were that shit at the beginning. So the point is, rather than saying, we're still 9th in the league, 8th in the league, whatever it is, you also can't use that to disrespect the difference he has made since making a significant decision when he needed to. Because it clearly has paid off in the Premier League.
The only reason, you know what? As I said, I'm someone that thinks give him till December. But had this been an equal season, so what are we on? 59 points? No, 58. Had we got 29 points in the first half of the season and 29 points in the second half of the season, I'd be screaming, get him out.
Yeah, I get that.
So for me, as I said, the reason I'm willing to give him time is, have the performances improved? Maybe. But the results have improved, and this is a results-based business. So I think you'd be silly to take Guardiola out of it because they're a joke. You'd be silly, in my opinion, to get rid of the form manager without giving him a chance to see if he can take that through the whole season. Now he's put somewhere, he's got his, what's the word? He's got his foot on the ladder. For me, you'd be silly to not see if he can climb it. I understand all of the other non-stupid points, but for me, what's saving him is that he's been so lopsided. And on the flip side, had we got 44 points at the first half of the season and only 14 at the back end, everyone would be saying get rid of him. So it's timing. But now I hope we can build on this.
It is also worth just adding, because I've just seen an added stat to this. In those 23 games, we have the third least goals conceded in the Premier League. We got 21. City and Chelsea both joint top with 20.
We got the third in the league anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, but I'm just saying because I'm just looking at this one table that's from those 23 in particular. And then we've also got the...
Where are we for goals scored?
Third.
What?
For goals scored
on this map, in terms of the teams in the top 6, that is. City have 57, United have 42, we have 41, Leicester have 40.
Wow. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I was
3 games. This is good.
I was really surprised when I saw that we were second on that table. And we fucked a couple of games off as well. So it doesn't feel, and this doesn't help, it doesn't feel like we've been performing like that. Because if someone had said to me, how do you think we've done since Christmas? I'd have gone like, obviously we definitely improved from the first half of the season. And okay, maybe sort of top 6 form, I would have said, if I hadn't seen a table. Like, and as I said, you look, and I know ifs and buts, if my auntie had a cock, she'd be my uncle. But like the Everton game where we paid Leno tax, the Fulham game where we fucked it off completely, and obviously we got a last minute draw. The Wolves game where all forms of shit happened, the Villa game. I'm not using these as excuses. It doesn't feel like we've been the second best team since Christmas.
And again, now, if we look at my whole argument, I'm looking at the whole thing, because now imagine if we're in the Europa League final and we win won Europa League, I will eat my words.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Okay,
because you wanted him out after the FA Cup.
Oh wait, which FA Cup? FA Cup win?
The one we won. You wanted him out at the start of the season. No, you did. Like, that's not a criticism. That's not a criticism.
Okay.
You wanted him out at the start of the season. You just said it a minute ago. You said I wanted him out in the summer.
Oh, not in the summer.
You said it.
Okay, hold on. I was skeptical in the summer, but November. To be fair, no. I remember the first 2 games. I was saying that we don't look. No, it was that Sheffield United.
We won the first game 3-0. We were sick. You couldn't you say we didn't look anything?
No. Because it's when he changed to a 4-2-3-1. When he changed to a 4-2-3-1. What?
But the 4-2-3-1 clearly works.
No, it
didn't then.
When we changed to
we won the first game 3-0.
Yeah, but we played a 3 at the back.
How could you be negative against the manager when we've won 3-0
no,
away
because
in the first game of the season?
Hold on.
When we had won
not negative.
away games
I was not negative at Fulham away. I was actually positive because he kept everything was the same. What he kept everything the same, and I was like, okay, cool. Then he changed to a 4-2-3-1, and it was Sheffield United at home. I was like, it ain't looking kind of good. West Ham at home.
We won both.
Yeah. Hold on. Yes, we won both, but then I could from those performances, I knew we could potentially be in trouble, and we did. When we went into trouble, and we had a stupid, ridiculous run where Arteta was breaking records left, right, and center, and teams were winning that haven't won at the Emirates in donkey years and everything like that. And I knew from then that this guy ain't the manager. But again, now cool. I agree with Tony. I wouldn't eat my words if if Arteta won the Europa League and got us into Champions League. But at least people can say that he has hit a target to get us back into the Champions League. But at this current moment in time, he has failed on every single assignment.
But he hasn't because we would be second in the league if the league started at Christmas. Anyway, we should be second in the league, mate. We're Champions League place if the league starts at Christmas.
He's only going to give the manager a chance if he wins a.
No. Premier League isn't 38 games. It's from Christmas.
No. That is it. What you just said there is correct. For example, when Arteta came in, competitions are luck. When Arteta came in, the board would have given him some targets. Okay, Arteta, can we get top 6 from whatever we can do? Yes or no? Can we improve our style of play? He would have given. And for me, my target for Arteta when he first came in, can you give us a style of football? Can you let us? Can we get a style and say this is how we want to play? Because Emery doesn't give that with us, and he did that for me. And you can say, cool, bang, that's your target. He did it, and he added something else with an FA Cup. I never said I didn't think we could have won that FA Cup, but he added that as a bonus on top. So then now from there, at the start of the season, and I said Arsenal were going to finish 3rd because I thought that he could potentially continue with that philosophy and then just build it up from there. But he's gone backwards. Every single target I know the board would have given him, he has failed. FA Cup, League, Europa League, failed. Not even top 4, not even top 6, failed. So I can't see why we would still back a failure of a manager.
Look at the other counter argument, which is completely in line with what you've just said. So then the board may have given him such expectations at the beginning of a coronavirus season where it has been a fuck season. So then when it comes to Christmas and the board go, Mikel, look, it's been really shit. We've got 14 fucking points. We've scored about 8 goals or something in the fucking season. You need to change some shit up or you're not going to be in a job next season. We need to get some consistency going in the league. 2nd in the league from then onwards.
Mate, hold on. He didn't change shit up.
He did. He went to a 4 at the back and he got in. He completely changed.
We went to a 4 at the back. We had a 4 at the back for all year.
No, we didn't.
from the third game of the season.
We played mainly a 5, and it was a transitional. It was transitional, and it was more of a 5 in defense.
Who was in the 5?
5 at the back. That's how the club put it out on their socials.
Who is in the 5? Who was in the 5?
Xhaka would drop back. It depends. I can get team list up now. We were playing 5 at the back. We played 5 at Leeds. We played 5 at Liverpool. We played 5 at City.
Sheffield United at home. What was the 5?
West Ham. We played 5. Addy.
When we lost to Burnley, etc.
No, wait, Addy.
10 weeks.
Addy, I questioned. Wait. I questioned you last week on the Sheffield United because I couldn't remember. So I was literally Googling it as you were talking, if anyone heard me typing. And we played a 5 against West Ham, but a 4 against Sheffield United.
But we moved to a 5 at half time. We moved formation at the game.
No, so I thought, off the top of my head, when I questioned Daddy last week, I thought we started with a 5 and brought Pepe on at half time and went to a 4. That's what I thought. I've just Googled it. That didn't happen. I made that up. We played a back 4 whole game.
But in the losing run, when we lost to teams like Burnley, etc. at home, Villa, that was 5. That was playing a 5. We were playing 5 at the back for about 10, 12 weeks. And that's when we were at our worst this season. And that's because we had significant lack of numbers in the midfield.
And plus, again, he didn't change anything. For me, the only thing, and I said it, and I say this all the time, Emil Smith-Rowe coming back from injury saved his job.
But he chose to play him.
Just like how he chose to not play Ozil.
He chose to throw him in randomly against Chelsea.
And how he chose to play Willock as a number 10 as well. So
but don't judge one decision and not praise the other.
No, I judge all the decisions, but then I judge the decision that Emil Smith-Rowe came back from injury and saved his job.
When Emil got chucked in against Chelsea, he was not 100% fit. Emil had played about 30 minutes in the Europa League before, and he played the game before that. It was the Vienna game. I was there.
Okay.
Anyway, boys, this is going to drag on. This could drag on for hours. Moe says I'm with you, Addy. For me, it's not good enough. I look at it on the season. I really do. I look at it and go, you're ninth on the ladder. We were ninth last year. This is a season as well that we no longer are in Europa League. We are no longer in Champions League. We are in this UEFA Conference Cup thing, and those who will watch.
No, we're not.
No, we're not in that either. Okay, we're not even here. We're not even in that either. And at the end of the day, this Arsenal team fucking stinks, and it's got to start from the top. Unfortunately for me.
Cool, I'm fucking glad we won today.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about us, boys.
Quickly, Tez, because I've been waiting for an hour to say this. Bring MWA's comment up quickly about Odegaard, because I went to jump in with this an hour ago.
MWA Gunner, Mourinho. I've got to get back through.
Is when I was asking about this. Yeah. No, he didn't. You're wrong. And you're probably not listening anymore because you made this point an hour ago. But you're wrong. Cedric got the assist. Odegaard did play a really good pass to Cedric, though. I saw that come up and I was like, I've got to correct him because he's always on my case. Not in a bad way, but he's always on my case. So I saw it and Addy knows what I'm like. Don't tell me I'm wrong and I'm not. So I saw it and I'm like, I went to jump in and you was like, no, let me just say this. And then that was
it.
I've had 3 birthdays since then. But MWA Gunner, you're wrong. It was Cedric.
Okay, that's us. 2 hours, boys. Fuck, I didn't even think it would go 2 hours, to be honest. But and that'd the Arteta thing, yeah. Look, everybody has their opinion on the situation. Everybody, decides based on Christmas or based on the whole season what you think of Arteta's job this season, and that's each to their own, I guess. So. Yes, I did snap. And yes, it was fucking pissing me off, but only because, I try and look at the thing for the whole season, not from Christmas. So I do apologise for that as well, boys.
Do remember, he's not one manager a month.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That is a huge factor.
That was a stupid comment at a frustrated minute, and now I see why I don't have at Clock End Talk rants because fucking Jesus. But anyway,
We should start.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. You can follow us at the Clock End Talk. We will be back next week for our last episode for the season before we start getting into the Euro stuff. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, you patrons. Just a quick shout out, as I do every week. Listeners, this week I've seen you fellow Kiwis down below us or down below me, New Zealand. Thank you, guys. Yes, you're listening over there. I can see you.
Everything's down below you.
Our Kiwi mates. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks again, and see you next week.
It's coming home.